deeply connected to your inner power, your inner joy, your love for life. I remember that first conscious connection. I was 5 years old, and I sat at my grandmother's house in the garden, under the pregnant lemon tree. My skinny black legs, I would sit on this white bench, and the skinny black legs would go back and forth and back, bare feet caressing the green grass. My nose filled with the perfume of the citrus from the lemon trees, and my ears with the sound of silence and the occasional bzzz of the hummingbee. I felt so good, connected to nature, felt incredible. My eyes looked out into the garden, and I caught the colorful flowers waltzing gently in the breeze against the dark blue of the African sky. A butterfly fluttered by. Is it possible that we can feel like this every single day? Ladies and gentlemen, if we practiced this, we could feel this. If we committed to up-leveling the human spirit, but at our current level of intelligence, we are destroying the planet at a rate faster than we can repair it. The rainforests mutilated, the oceans polluted, the human race, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and diminished. We have diminished ourselves, and it seems like we're going backwards because we're popping pills at a rate that's so fast, right? And we're also having obesity, and we are uncomfortable in our own skin, right? We don't sleep at night, and we are losing touch of the one thing that we need to hold on to, and that is our human spirit, our humanity. So what I want to suggest today is that we figure out a way to up-level the human spirit. Let's make humans great again. I want to suggest that we implement in schools all over the world, right? Colleges and universities, something that's going to help our kids learn the things that matter in life. So I've created a 4-point learning system, and I call it the Star Intelligence System. It's about creating the next level of human being, Human 2.0. So how does the system work? Well, it is S stands for sexuality, T for talent, A for abundance, and R for relaxation. So let's see, how would this work? Let's start with sexuality. When I say the word sexuality, how many of you are feeling a little bit nervous already? Like, oh my God, what is she going to talk about? Shall I close my ears? Shall I close my child's ears? Yeah? So the thing is, we have this relationship with our sexuality that we need to change, because at our current level of intelligence, we have hardcore, aggressive porn just a few clicks away on mobile devices. Female genital mutilation still happening. Something scary that I found out while researching for this talk. 1/3 of women globally have experienced some kind of abuse, sexual abuse, and 8 out of 10 times from a known member of their family and of their culture and society. So what does that tell us? It means that we haven't figured out how to use this tool that we've been given, this amazing gift called our sexuality. We have negativity wrapped around it, shame, guilt, humiliation, not knowing how to talk about it, cultural and other taboos that hold us back, religious taboos and cultural taboos. And what we need to figure out is, how can we overcome this? How can we start speaking a different language? Sexuality is moving away from practical to spiritual, about procreation to recreation. And that's just the facts, whether we like it or not. We need to up-level the game that we're playing sexually. I was 12 years old when I first experienced from my stepfather something that crossed my boundaries. And I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know who to turn to, and I just froze and did nothing. And I know that there are many, many kids in the same situation, because what we learn is you shouldn't get pregnant. That wouldn't be a good idea. It's about venereal disease. It's only about shaming the family. Let's not even talk about sex, and so forth. And even though, yes, we may be in a culture that has advanced, many cultures still have these kind of ideas. And the problem with it is that we are limiting our young people. What we need to be teaching them is the beauty, the joy, the pleasure, the orgasm, the feeling confident in who you are sexually, being able to speak clearly about your limits and your borders, and feeling good about sex. Wouldn't the world be a different place if we would implement these type of classes that allowed people to go from practical sex to spiritual sex? Not about making babies, but making a connection. The T stands for talent. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you prefer to be amazing, super, fantastic, awesome, great, brilliant, wow, at something than mediocre at many things? The school system, as it currently is, forces everybody to be able to do the same things, even though it's clear that we're born with a special gift. Every single one of us has the capability to do something extraordinary with our lives. What we need to be doing is nurturing, first of all, finding and nurturing talent, showing people what they're good at and what their gifts are, instead of forcing everyone to fit into the same shoe, causing a lot of stress and anxiety for the students as they try to be good at everything. Imagine if you could come to school and enjoy the classes, because you get extra classes at the stuff you rock at. Nothing makes me more sad than hearing a person say, Mahima, I don't have a talent. I don't have a gift. And these are people with master's degrees, PhDs, and have been in their field for many, many years. So what we need to be doing is teaching confidence. And when you're good at something, when you really know that you're good at something, and it takes time to be masterful, to become masterful. You need discipline, you need dedication, right? And that gives you confidence. And I'll say to people, when you have your talent, you can be told, you quit your job, you still have your talent. People can break your heart and leave you, you still have your talent. Your company could go bankrupt, you still have your talent. When the common denominator I see when people are disconnected from their joy is because they've forgotten what they are here to do. So I'd say, let's get people to know what their talent is, and then let's figure out a mission that serves humanity. That's building world leaders. The A stands for STA, right? Abundance. It was the 14th of February, Global Day of Love in the world. And a 19-year-old boy in Florida felt so disconnected from his power, from his inner peace, from the light, because it's our birthright. We came into this world with that beauty, with that shine, with that sparkle. That's why when we see babies, we're so animated and we get that energy. So everyone has this inside of them, this beauty, this light, this joy. So this young man was so disconnected from that he took a gun and started shooting people in his own school. Now we could say, that's not my problem because that's not my kid and it's never going to be my kid. That's not my school and it's never going to be my school. That's not my country. So that's not really something I need to be concerned about. Or we can use this as an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to wake up and realize that maybe, just maybe, what we're teaching our kids is not enough to ensure that they are spiritually, emotionally, and mentally the best versions of themselves. Victim mindset is a certain way of thinking. And I want to teach people abundance mindset, right? That means you learn that your free will is one of the biggest gifts you've been given. Your mind is your treasure, and how you use it, how you think, affects how you feel, affects how you act. I want classes all over the world that teach people how to think and create, instead of filling our heads with knowledge and information, but not teaching us how to create an abundant life. You're creating your reality through the thoughts you have, your belief systems. We need to be questioning what beliefs hold us back and limit us. Everybody has the right to an abundant life. But we need to be teaching this. We need to teach people how to think and how to act and how to do things differently. I believe that if we took this information and instead of just giving poor people lots of money and we taught them how to think differently, everybody can create their own destiny, because it's through your choices that you create your own destiny. And the R, it stands for relaxation. Our emotional body, oh my goodness, isn't it a lot? We go from happy to sad, confused, envy, greed, joy, peace, all different type of emotions. And it goes up and down like a roller coaster, right? And I know that I'm not the only person who's experienced this, right? The emotional body. And yet, we do not have classes that teach kids how to let go, how to feel inner peace in the moment, how to be able to take a bird's eye view and see your thoughts, see your mind, see your emotions from a distance. This is meditation. This is the power of going inwards and doing inner learning and not just external learning. So I was 14 years old when my emotions were just too much for me. The roller coaster of up and down and confusion, stepfather, school, all these problems that I felt I had, even though my life was relatively okay, right? So I was 14 and I woke up one morning and I'd had enough. I went to the cabinet in the bathroom and I found a bottle of pills and I put them into my hand. And without thinking so much, I just took those pills. The minute I had swallowed those pills, the need and the want to live came rushing into me, and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And I went to my sister who was sleeping and woke her up and said, I've done something really stupid. And she said, yeah, again, without knowing what I'd done, of course. And obviously that has a happy ending, or else I wouldn't stand on the stage here today. But I know that dealing and wrestling with our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings is something real for all humans. When I think of my own parents, because sometimes we think parents should teach this. I think of my own mother struggling with her own emotions and everything that was going on in her life, the insecurities that she felt being in a country brought up with apartheid, not having the opportunities that she maybe wanted to have, my dad leaving her as a single mom. So, generations, my mom's mom, and, back and back we go, they had the same problems. So when we want to up-level the human spirit, we need to start thinking completely different than anything what has happened before. We need to start innovating right now and see how we can stop depression and all these things that are happening to us as we get more and more into the mobile age, right? So this is a human growth issue that we need to seriously consider when we're teaching from a young age and people are going through the process of learning. can we teach them more skills that's going to teach them more about life? So my journey came to, let's say, a highlight when I was 22 years old. And I came full circle. I came full circle because I was so fortunate. I wasn't looking for anything. I didn't know that I even had issues. I didn't know that sexually I was lost. I didn't know that my mindset was a victim mindset. I had no clue that I didn't really know how to relax. All these things were just how humans were for me. I wasn't special. And then I sat in an ashram. I sat cross-legged on the cold marble floor. I looked around me, I saw people with white robes in all directions I could see. Something magical happened in that first ever meditation. My nose filled with the perfume of the jasmine flowers that were dropping on the grass outside the tent. My ears filled with the sound of silence and my heart beating. And I went back to that moment, consciously back to the lemon tree, and reconnected to my inner strength, my inner power and wisdom. Now, I know that it is not that complicated because this is what I do every day. I help people to feel more empowered. So we think it's a long journey to that. It was my first meditation where I was able to awaken and reconnect. And once that I reconnected, I became excited because I was the same person who arrived at that ashram 1 hour later feeling completely transformed through one meditation. I thought, this is great. I need to do more of this. So I stayed and I studied and learned everything that I could. I would spend hours and hours in meditation. So I was able to take my sexuality from frustrated to liberated. I was able to take my not knowing what I was put on this planet to do, to finding my talent, nurturing it, and allowing that I can travel around the world teaching other people how to be the best versions of themselves. I was able to take my victim mindset and turn it into abundance mindset, because from where I come from, I shouldn't be creating the kind of wealth and relationships that I've been able to create learning this stuff, right? And I took my confused emotional state from that to learning how to relax, be in the moment, and let go. So what I want to suggest is that we take this star intelligence, sexuality, talent, and abundance, teach it in every school that we can find, university, and so forth, so that we can teach human beings, right, how to get rid of sexual violence in the world. Wouldn't that be amazing if more people were empowered sexually, so that we brought more gentleness, more kindness, and more respect to that area, so that we could speak about it without guilt and shame and other negative emotions. And I would like to suggest that we learn how to think so that we don't need weapons of mass destruction. We don't need to keep building and pouring billions into military because we don't know how to communicate with each other. We don't know how to connect to each other, right? Because this is what we would be able to do if we were up-leveling the human spirit. So in my last request to you, I want you to take a look at the man in the mirror and realize that the change that we're all looking for in the world needs to start internally by learning strategies, techniques, systems that make humans great, centered, grounded, powerful, loving, and open human beings. Let's create Human 2.0.